Coming up, we're looking at the changes in Gmail and SEOMoz dropping out SEO.
And we are joined by special co-host Nick Francis of Franchise Studios.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of SEO Lunch. I'm your host, Matt.
And I'm Dan.
Dan's always good to see you. Today we're trying something a little bit different.
A little bit different today.
So let's talk about what SEO Lunch is. SEO Lunch is the show for that brand new SEO or that small business web marketer who's learning the tips and tricks, the inside craft to SEO and web marketing. Take all the top stories of inbound.org, put them together in a great SEO lunch for you.
And today's a little different because we actually have a live
We do have a live guest today.
For the first time ever. What's up, Nick?
How's it going?
Nick, welcome to the program, buddy.
We have Nick Francis.
Nick Francis from Franchise Studios. He's going to be here with us to kind of give his feedback on what he thinks about web marketing and where the industry is going. So Dan and I are going to take it right from the top.
Absolutely. So first thing we're going to talk about today is user-generated pricing, which is going to be sort of our concept of the week, basically talking about sort of a name-your-own-price scheme for your business.
Goodbye, SEOMoz. Hello, Moz. This is by Rand Fishkin on Moz.com. SEOMoz recently rebranding to just Moz, dropping the SEO. I can't wait to talk about this.
And then taking an actual article from Moz.com, we have Nicole Small talking about brands taking on Instagram for their marketing efforts.
A new inbox that puts you back in control. You always give me the hard names. The product manager of Gmail, reinvention on the Gmail blog. This is going to be great to see the evolution of Gmail and see where it's going and what that means for small businesses.
We're going to look at a few tips from Christina on Ad Espresso about writing great Facebook ad copy. So if you are still using Facebook and posting any ads or sidebar ad banners, we're going to look at that as well.
And the resource of the week, StyleMe. This is really cool. I think Nick's going to like this. I think our viewers are going to like this. This is a good find, Dan.
Absolutely.
So
let's jump right into it,
Let's jump right into it.
So the first one comes from the service blog, blog.service.io, and it's the concept of the week, which is user-generated pricing. So basically, it's pay what you want. In the case of what this gentleman's trying out, which is his product service for Mac, for developers, he is doing a price scheme where you are given a choice to pay anywhere from like $2.50, I believe, to about $20. And you choose how much you want to pay based on your satisfaction with the product or how much you want to put into that product.
So I've seen this work a few times. I've seen this work with a lot of like educational series, videos. There's a very popular site out there for fitness where there's these fitness videos and they say, hey, look, it is what it is. $5, $20. What do you think this is worth to get this collection of videos that we put out there? This won't work for all businesses, excuse me. But it's definitely interesting if you have a digital product on the web.
Right.
Let the customer decide how much they want to pay. Right. And I guess it all depends on how much you've spent putting it together.
And the two that come to mind are Radiohead, when they came out with their album In Rainbows years back. It was like the first time we really saw a really successful push for that. They made like $10 million in the first week by letting you pay whatever you wanted, including nothing for your product. And then humble bundles, which are like, games or soundtracks that are sold for whatever price. But if you pay more than the average, you get special goodies, which is an interesting little spin on it.
Nick, have you seen anything of like this in your experience?
No, I haven't seen anything like this, but I mean, the model sounds similar to, on the other side, on the selling side to what, Indiegogo and Kickstarter do with the tiered levels of paying for what you think, you want to donate to get product in return. So I think that's interesting. And, I've certainly seen some people do that in an affordable manner to really try to make value for the people that are helping them out. And from a consumer side, I think this is an interesting model that I certainly want to check out this Humble Bundle.
Are you a gamer?
I'm not a gamer.
Okay. So it's a lot of gaming, but they also have soundtracks and things like that too, and they've been kind of branching out to applications as well.
Yeah.
So let's jump on to the next one here. So goodbye SEOMoz.
Goodbye SEOMoz.
Hello Moz.
Yeah, I kind of called this one last week. Nick, do you use any of the SEOMoz tools? Familiar with them?
No, I'm not.
So
I'm striking out right now.
Yeah, so SEOMoz is one of the largest SEO or most popular SEO platforms out there, software platforms. It's an interesting shift that's going on with SEO. You see Matt Cutts talking about how Google's changing. There's been new updates coming through on Google search. How do people get found? What does it mean to be found? Where can you be found now? You can be found on maps, apps, regular SERPs, all over the place. And Rand Fishkin talked about how it's changing in terms of doing SEO, being that SEO person. And I said, what's going to happen to a business like that, right? What is going to happen to a business that's built on data, on page ranks and things like that?
Right.
And all of a sudden, here we go. They're dropping SEO from SEOMoz. That's a huge brand shift. Huge.
So Nick, what's your take on sort of this change? I mean, I assume you're in agreement, but I could be wrong about this change from SEO over to just like more of an inbound marketing push, or just a push for general internet marketing or content marketing.
Well, it's interesting because about maybe an hour ago, I just tweeted about the different techniques, from the white hat still being the best technique for SEO, and how quality, unique content is still very relevant, I would say. And then, we talk about, Matt, you and I have talked about guest blogging and sort of the importance of that and gaining the inbound traffic and things like that. I'm interested to see how this takes off and what or who is the next person to sort of follow suit, based on their successes. It's always interesting to see the first person to jump through this type of a hoop and see what kind of return they get, if any, and then that sort of determines the market in most cases. And in a lot of cases, it ends up being a failure and something that other people learn as a result of. So,
cool.
Yeah, we're definitely going through some interesting times. It'll definitely be interesting to see, how, SEOMoz being one of the leaders in the space, I can't see them fumbling through anything, but I can definitely see the industry changing from really high up. And the days of do I rank on page one do not matter anymore. It's just there. I've said it, right? It does not matter anymore because Google's changing its platform.
Right.
These guys are changing the way they're marketing. We're going to see a major shift.
Sure. And taking to that kind of content marketing push, the next article talks about Instagram for marketing. So it's an article from Moz.com because we always have to have one. And this is Brands Take to Instagram for Marketing. So what it basically does is it goes through a bunch of numbers, sort of kind of explaining why Instagram is sort of a good platform to put your product on. And it goes over very specific types of product, food, entertainment, clothing, and style, which makes sense. They're all very visual mediums, I should say. Where you can just show somebody, hey, here's what our restaurant looks like. Here's what our food looks like. Here's what this new fall line is going to look like, or whatever it may be. And using Instagram as a way to gain thousands and thousands of followers and market your product that way for free.
Yeah, and we always use that pizza company.
Yeah,
we make pizzas as a really basic business model. Obviously, great visual food stuff is always super important, or super shared and liked and loved and all that fun stuff. And with the integration, I'm more excited to see what Facebook's going to do with advertising on Facebook and Instagram and kind of cross-platform.
Sure.
Nick, you're a very visual guy. The stuff that you create is, some very stunning stuff. Have you been using Instagram for any marketing purposes?
We haven't been using it for marketing purposes, though we have, of course, our link to it under our social section on our website. For me personally, it's kind of along the same lines that I treat our business Twitter page versus my personal Twitter page, in that I like to just comment on things or take pictures of things that I find interesting or appealing, whether it be, visual or a cool letter or font I see on the street, or just trying to really, set up and arrange a photo in a way that I think is appealing, so that when people see that, it becomes not a distraction so much as a way for them to kind of escape somewhere else. I've always treated photography like that, but then I saw the movie Collateral with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise.
Yep.
And Jamie Foxx was the cab driver that always flipped down his visor there, and he had a postcard of a little tropical island with a palm tree on it, and that was his escape every day. And ever since I saw that, I thought that was a nice, touch on the way that I treat my photography, and a way to sort of define how I go about doing that. But certainly, talking about brands, restaurants, clothing, and that sort of thing, it's really cool. I think Red Bull is one of the better Instagrammers from a marketing standpoint, as well as Nike. And of course, they both have a product that helps you. And Red Bull does so many events around, activity and sport and extreme sports that I think it just makes people want to see what's happening.
Yeah.
But so there's certainly a lot of really good things going on Instagram. I'm interested to see how Facebook sort of wraps that in. And
yeah, absolutely. And I don't know if you're looking at the article, but Red Bull is like one of the second example here on the article. So. Yeah.
So check out. Those who were watching, check out the article. Definitely a good look to see some of the examples that they're posting up there. A new inbox that puts you back in control. I don't know about you, Dan and Nick, but I live, breathe, eat, sleep inside my Gmail.
Yeah. No, I know.
So I am super excited to see new ways of organization, integration of Google Plus, because God knows I'm all in on Google. And Google Plus.
So it should be rolling out in a couple weeks. On Android, iOS, and of course desktop devices. And what it's going to allow you to do is basically, I think it's going to smartly, for what it looks like, it's going to smartly sort out your mail. Sort of like you might already do. So you have your spam folder, your junk folder, you have your important folder, like a VIP, if you will, to say this is this person I really need to correspond with. So his email comes first. And different things like that, and it sort of is supposed to smartly kind of organize it that way, sort of like a circle in a Google Plus.
Yeah, for power users, and I'm sure Nick will agree with me. For power users, it's like I'm already putting up labels, I'm already putting up stars and priorities, and I'm kind of filtering all this stuff already. Will Google be able to do this really well? Well, they can do some crazy stuff with search, so I'm sure they will be. But will I actually be using those pre-made? It's like pre-made tabs.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, every Facebook notification goes into this tab, goes into social.
Yeah.
Every person you correspond with frequently goes into this one. It's gonna be interesting to see how they handle it. I think it's great. I just always love to see updates to Gmail.
Absolutely.
Nick, any excitement for this or?
No, I'm definitely excited. I think the biggest thing I'm guilty of is sort of staying on par with organizing into all my folders that I have, and I certainly have probably about 100 folders, whether it be clients or just fun stuff or articles I want to go back and read later. And if I could set that up to automatically go to those places, I think that would be a huge help for me. It's always interesting. I just noticed, speaking about Gmail, I just noticed a new feature. I don't know how recent they added it or if I just haven't ordered anything recently, but when I received an email for a tracking, it had a little link right on the side of it, right next to the timestamp that was to track the package right away.
Yep.
I don't know how new that is, but just noticing that, I was like, wow, I don't even have to open the email, to click the link anymore. It's right there.
Yeah, they're always inserting little things that they're not really, publicly announcing. And I think since I know the two of you are iOS fans and Apple fans, but ever since I switched to Android, the Android cards, the Google Now cards, sending emails, and then all of a sudden it's like it knows that to give me the Celtics score. It knows to give me my UPS tracking number. It knows when I'm at the office, and it tells me if there's going to be traffic on the way home, that kind of thing. So it's kind of cool.
That's really neat. 3 tips for writing great Facebook ad copy with examples. This comes from Christina on Ad Espresso, and what it basically does is it shows you a few examples of good Facebook ads, if there is such a thing, and bad Facebook ads. Specifically, she calls out putting in call to actions like get this product now, providing good descriptions in your advertising on Facebook as to what it exactly is you're selling so it doesn't come across as spammy. So basically saying, listen, we're a clothing company and we sell these type of t-shirts for this type of person. If you're one of those people, which if Facebook's doing their job, hopefully you are, then click on this link and get this shirt.
Yeah. It's interesting. Ads, are people looking at ads? Are they not looking at ads? Pay-per-click, exposures, which one do you want to go with? I think it's a great article as a resource for somebody to check out to see how they're doing it, especially if they're just dipping their toes into Facebook ads. It's funny. I was just doing a Facebook ad for a client and it got denied because there were too many words in the graphic. Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. I guess it's been like that forever, but it took them like 4 days to get back to me to say that the ad was denied. I think Facebook still has a long way to go from these static ads, and this is what is it that they can really deliver on the mobile platform through video, through buying apps like Instagram. Like how can they really, when Facebook ads came out, don't get me wrong, it was awesome to get that demographic to like target 21 to 29 in this zip code that like this other page. That was tremendous. Now, I mean, ads are kind of dying, on Facebook. People are leaving Facebook.
So, yeah. So that was that.
Nick, doing any kind of Facebook ads or anything like that?
Well, originally when I saw this one, I was going to ask you guys a question and sort of get your take on how you feel about Facebook ads. But rather than getting you to throw yourselves under the bus to your clients, I'll just do it myself and say that to me it's always just kind of white noise.
Yeah.
It's a distraction that I don't really pay attention to. I don't remember the last time I actually clicked on a Facebook ad.
Yeah.
Other than maybe it already being a brand that I already liked.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just reintroduce myself to that brand and see what they were doing. Yeah. I agree, adding things that are more visual and more video based and things of that nature, sort of what we've seen as of a timeline of where the banner ads have gone from animated GIFs through flash animation and into now being, on these nano sites and with video in PDF and downloadable documents built right into them. If Facebook adopts that, I think, it's certainly become more relevant for more of a larger marketing group than it currently is. But for me, it's tough. I don't really push that on our clients much, and I think it's because personally I wouldn't promote that for my brand.
Yeah, I mean, here's what I do like. I like all the data that they give folks like us, the marketers that are out there. So it's a great way to kind of research a market.
Yep.
And I do love the new addition of when you are advertising for a page, that it shows the like this page, within that advertisement. Sure. So that's kind of cool. So
Alrighty.
over to the last one.
The resource of the week.
Resource of the week, StyleMe.com. I did not get a chance to look at this yet. I know you did, and I see it up on your screen.
So what you basically do on this website is you put in the URL for the website that you like the look of, you like the colors for, the font for, things like that, but you don't really know exactly what that stuff is. Mm-hmm. You enter that URL, and it gives you all the background colors, text colors, the typography, the headers, how big they are, what text font they are, normal, strong, whatever it might be, some images. So it kind of gives you a good idea, like a good jumping off point. And if you really like a text font, for example, you can just incorporate that right into your website if you didn't know the name of it.
Yeah. Nick, do we still have you on the line? Because I think the video dropped.
I'm still here, but my video camera seems to have gone down.
That's okay. So we'll just keep you on the audio. This is a pretty awesome site, especially if you're giving it to your client to say, hey, who are your competitors? What competitor sites do you like out there? Pretty quick way to just snag their color palette. To just do some quick research. I can see this being pretty useful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty useful.
That's why it's here. That's why it's the resource.
That is a good resource of the week. Nick, what do you think?
I think this is a great resource. It certainly beats using some of the apps that early iOS users saw with finding the font and trying to figure that out, especially as a designer when you're trying to find a font and you really like, someone sends you a link to a website, well, I like this font, and if it's not, rich coded, if it's just a JPEG or something embedded on the site, you can't really copy and paste it to find out or look at the source code to see what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be a great addition. It eliminates a lot of the guesswork, especially, from a Pantone color standpoint for background colors and things like that. The same thing with the apps that exist on iPhone, and I'm sure there's some on Android as well. How do you know that your screen's calibrated appropriately to guess the right Pantone color? It might look completely different somewhere else, or if you print it out, Yeah. So I think doing it this way is certainly going to be give everybody a hand up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, solid points. So that's our first beta run of the SEO lunch with Roundtable edition.
It's cool
with
stuff.
100% more Roundtable. We're gonna have to edit this end here so that we can continue to have the audio of Nick inside of it.
Yeah.
But SEO Lunch, this is the show where we take all these top inbound.org stories, put them together, give you the top stories of the week. We'd love for you to subscribe. We do want to hit over. We're almost at 1,000.
Almost there.
Almost at 1,000 YouTube subscribers. We'd love to surpass that. Let us know what you loved, what you didn't love. Do you like this format? Do you want to be a guest co-host of the show? Do let us know in the comments, slocumstudio.com/subscribe. Nick, where can people find you on the web, and where can they find out what you do?
Well, our URL is Franchise Studios Inc. That's inc.com. And you can also find me at _franchise on Twitter.
tremendous. We will make sure that is in the video.
Very cool.
Thanks for joining the show, sir.
Thank you. Sorry I disappeared at the end.
That's okay. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.